Now, can Southampton stay up this season? They are bottom of the league. They've won just one of their 7 league games under Nathan Jones. Their board of directors met with supporters at a fans forum at St Mary's last night. We're joined by one of the fans who was there. That's Martin Saunders. Very good afternoon to you. You were one of around 100 supporters who had the chance to ask questions to the Sport Republic ownership group. Give us a summary of what was said. Were you satisfied with the answers they gave?
Oh, it's an interesting one. It's the first fans forum that I've been to. I've travelled from the Isle of Wight to go across because I was so interested to know what the board had to say. And obviously there's a huge amount of frustration towards the manager, Nathan Jones, and the appointment of Nathan Jones. We got some answers. I think it's pretty clear to say that they're going to back him at this moment in time. They've brought some, a huge amount of players in during the summer and during this window as well. A good 40 million's been spent in this window, and they feel they've now given him, as they said, the weapons, and they want to give him some time with those weapons by the looks of it. And I don't think there's any sign that the manager will be going, but the fans clearly want this manager out of the club. Yeah,
so the owners, have they misread the fans, not heard the fans, or what is the sense there with the feelings towards Nathan Jones?
I don't think they believed particularly how united the fan base has been. I've been a supporter for over 30 years, and I've never seen a fan base all in agreement that they want this manager gone. There was a Twitter space on Sunday night where fans joined. There was 25,000 listeners on that, and it was overwhelming that 99 to 100% of people want Nathan Jones out. Not just because of the comments that were made at the weekend, they weren't great, but the performances on the pitch have been dreadful. They've gone backwards in this short period of time since he's come in. The 7 games have been poor, and it all started against Lincoln in that League Cup game after the World Cup. We didn't come out and we didn't start very well, and frustration's been building and building and building. And I don't think they realise how disappointed these fans are. And the weekend's game against Wolves is absolutely huge, and it could turn toxic very quickly. I said last night, I thought the fan base was uniting against this manager, and that will be very, very difficult for Nathan Jones at the weekend, I would say.
Yeah, Nathan Jones himself wasn't in attendance at this meeting. Would you like him to have been there so he could answer some of those questions and maybe put his point across?
They were quite quick to say, actually, that Nathan doesn't shy away, and he would have more than happy he'd been there. But they said it was pre-organised. They do several fans forums a year, and that they would, this was pre-planned. It was going to be board only with a small select amount of fans, 100 fans, and it was all pre-planned. But I don't think there's any question the fans wanted him there last night. But I think it would have. To be fair, it's fairly calm, and our fans are good fans. They back our team, and it's not. If you look at the situation at Everton earlier on this season, and they wanted rid of Lampard, and the fans united there, and it got pretty nasty. It's not like that down here on the south coast. They got, the fan base is a nice fan base, maybe a little bit too soft at times, but the club feel that Nathan's making a mark on the training pitch. They say he's united the players, the better relationship with the players than it was before. He actually went on to say that it hit rock bottom under Ralph Hasenhüttl, which was an interesting comment, I thought.
Yeah. You alluded to those comments he made after the game at the weekend. That was that defeat at Brentford. He said he compromised on principles. The interesting one was when he was referring back to Luton and saying pound for pound, he was one of the best managers in Europe last season. Did you get an answer on that one?
Yeah, I think from how it read that they didn't want to criticise him, but they were disappointed by the comments made. They said it was like heat at the moment. It was quite rash at that moment. Maybe it was just come off the pitch, but he was interviewed by several different press at that moment in time, and that's what's annoyed the fans. It was one interview. It was several interviews, and like you say, the references back to Luton Town all the time. No, you don't hear Pep Guardiola constantly going back and talking about his time at Barcelona. It's about the here and now, and all the Southampton fans are interested in. All we are interested in is 3 points and winning games, and we're not doing that. And it's angering these fans.
Yeah, I mean, it seems a blink of an eye since he arrived there. Is there no understanding or no sort of compassion given that he's only just walked in? Why is the reaction against him so strong so soon?
Definitely the performances. I go back to the League Cup game straight after the World Cup, the Lincoln game. It was poor. They looked off it. They were trying to play 5 at the back at home, and straight away you're in a League Cup game against a League One side, and you're playing 5 at the back at home, and the football wasn't great. It just didn't flow at all, and all of a sudden the fans backs up. Everyone's a little bit antsy, but I've always been willing to give him time. I think you've got to be aligned in a club from top to bottom. I think that's really important, and I'm not convinced that they are, to be honest. So are the players that suited for Nathan Jones? I'm not convinced they are. He wants to be a front-footed side. From the games that I've seen, we don't press from the front. I think the body language of some of the players speak volumes at this moment in time. And I'm not convinced that everything that was said last night is marrying up to what's happening on the training pitch, because they feel that he's doing a good job on the training pitch. The performances don't reflect that. OK,
so it is Wolves at the weekend. What is an acceptable result in that game?
For me, it's must-win. I think all the fan base would say the same. It's an absolute must-win game. And the thing that I kind of dread is that if the game doesn't start well, and we are not very good at starting games, if we start poorly, this is a young side. They've brought in young players. This summer, we brought some good players in, but there's not a lot of experience and not a lot of leaders there. And that, again, has infuriated the fans. You've lost Fraser Forster, who was a top goalkeeper. He probably kept him in the division last season, to be fair. And we're leak goals easy, and we're fragile. And like I say, the lack of leaders other than James Ward-Prowse, who's doing his best to carry this side. If we do concede early, I think it could become toxic quite early. And there's nothing. We have to win. It has to be 3 points the weekend, nothing less, because we're away to Chelsea next week, and then we're back home to Leicester City, then away to Leeds United. So huge games coming up now. Yeah.
There's what is there? 17 league games to go now, bottom. But there's always hope. Only 6 points separate you from Leicester in 14th, so 2 wins. And it's suddenly a completely different picture. So do you think you'll be watching Premier League football next season?
My gut feeling, I don't think we will be, if things don't change quickly. They feel that we're 1 win away from turning this around. The board of directors, they believe that a win could just turn this around. I'm not convinced it will, because we had a little cup run, and we beat Manchester City at home, and they were outstanding that night at home. They played really well, and I actually felt that was the turning point for Nathan and the team. But it didn't, and it doesn't settle the side down. They're constantly chopping and changing the side. I think one thing you need to do is you need to settle on your best side and drive forward and try and get results. And I think it's going to be really difficult to stay up now. And like I say, this weekend's game is absolutely massive. You never say never in football, do you? But from what I've seen so far this season, we've seen 1 league win at St Mary's, and that was against Chelsea back in August.
Martin, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck for the rest of the season.